Hey yo guys, it's me, Jordan, or TheFearRaiser, and here today, I'm bringing you another story. That's right guys, I still got some stories to tell, because I'm still young and I'm still living, so hey! But, of course, as you can clearly see, the stories are very separated now, very distant, because my stories are true, and I will admit, I'm really starting to run out of a lot of my stories now. But guys, today I realized that I had never ever told you guys my bully story, and that was essentially what happened to me growing up throughout elementary school, and maybe, and a little bit of what happened in junior high as well. And yeah, I'm gonna be talking to you guys about that today because because guys, bullying is such a big thing still. And it's so sad. But the thing is though, it's not the easiest thing to get rid of either. Because every kid grows up differently, and as kids a lot of things happen that the parents don't know about because only the kids really know about it, because the parents can't be just watching all the kids 24/7. But with that being said, I'm gonna get right into the story, guys, and yeah, this is definitely gonna be a more serious story. But before I tell the story, guys, it'd be totally great if you could leave a like, show your support, subscribe to the channel, and also you should buy some shirt merchandise. I got some merchandise, some shirts, and a hoodie. They're down in the link. The link is in the description below. I'm just leaving it. I'm just saying it now if anybody wants one. But I'm gonna leave you all to that now, and I'm gonna get right into the story. So guys, bullying. It's a very common thing. It's very common when we're growing up, and as kids, it's when it happens the most. And even when I was a kid, bullying was bad. Bullying has always been there. That's the one strange thing. Whether it be 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 80 years ago, 100 years ago, bullying has still always been a thing amongst kids, and it's strange. It's I don't know. It's just a thing that seems to just happen, and it's just a part of life. And of course, it needs to be under control because it's a terrible thing, and it's unfortunately harmed a lot of kids, and even more so, it has taken away some lives as well, which is absolutely terrible. Which is why bullying needs to stop. Whether or not I don't have an answer to how, but it definitely needs to be stopped and monitored and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so as a kid, I was bullied. I was bullied a lot. And the reason why I was picked on a lot was because I was a short kid at the time. I wore glasses. I wore nerdy glasses. I wore Harry Potter glasses, guys. I was pretty cool. And, I had anxiety. Looking back, I didn't even know what anxiety was, didn't even know it was a thing. And now that I'm older, I can honestly reflect back to my mindset when I was that young and know and tell you that what I felt then is very similar to the things that I felt today, except obviously I'm more grown up, and obviously, I have a lot more knowledge and stuff like that. But anyways, as a kid, having anxiety, and also I want to say this right now, this was back in 2001, okay? This was still back when mental health was not really talked about ever. So somebody who had anxiety or clinical depression or all of these symptoms that are only now being acknowledged were not taken very seriously. So it really put me in a really hard place growing up. Because, of course, I had to understand throughout my time of living and going through school, in general, that I had anxiety and what it was, and just learn from it and stuff like that. Anyways, so the issue was because I had anxiety and because I was an easy target, I was a shy kid, I hated confrontation, I could never stand up for myself. Because I never wanted to fight with people, I just wanted to be friends with everybody, was why I got picked on so much. And I recall there was incidents where, I don't know if you guys have these, you probably do, when they let kids outside, playpen areas. I don't know what you call it. You know, like they have like fenced off areas for the kids to stay in and go outside and just do things. Well, essentially, a lot of the times that I went out, and they were usually in this area outside, I would get picked on, I'd get pushed around. I never got, like, beaten up or anything, but, like, I got picked on quite a lot and pushed around, and I kind of just took it, and it's terrible, and it sucked. And, you know, if it's ever happened to you guys, you don't feel bad to you. Like, don't beat yourself up over that, because honestly, guys, you know, people are cruel, and it takes a lot of will to stand up for yourself. It does. And, you know, sometimes the will's not there because you don't got the right help, the right support. So don't beat yourself up more than what's already happened to you. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, where was I? But yeah, and I used to get called a lot of names too. I recall there was this one time, it's so ingrained in my memory. I was walking down the hall to go to the bathroom, and I just had passed through the door to get down because the halls were separated by a door. It was weird. There was 2 different halls, even though it was the same hall, but there was a door and you had to go through it. And as I went through it, this kid walks by me. He looks at me as he's walking by, and he's just like, "Nice glasses, 4 eyes." And I'm just like, okay. I don't even know what I said. I remember I said something. I think I was like, "Cool, man." And I just went to the washroom, and, you know, I was so angry. Like, why are you making fun of me because I wear glasses? But anyways, so the whole 4 eyes thing was very common insult to me. And it sucked. But you want to know the worst thing about all of this? Is that growing up, all the friends that I had back then, who are not my friends now, I will add, were also terrible to me, and they also treated me very terribly. I recall in grade 4, I had these 2 friends in class who were like best friends with each other, and I was kind of like the third friend between them, but they treated me unfairly, and I was always left out. And I recall a time I went over to see what they were doing, and they literally called me a few foul words, to which I had gone over and told on them, because, you know, back in the day as a kid, you tattletaling was like one of the worst things you could do to somebody else to get back at them, and they would be like, "No, please don't do it, please, I'm sorry." Like, you know, back then, you'd be like, "Oh, please don't tell them, I'm sorry, I take it back." But I remember I told the teacher, and the teacher was like, "What did they call you?" And I told the teacher what they called me, which was a pretty bad curse word. And then she called me out, and then I had to go to the office, and it was terrible. I'm like, you know what? If you're gonna ask me what they said and I tell you don't, you're like, seriously, teachers back then were so stupid. I even had a teacher who told my mom that she thought I was mentally challenged. I don't think anyone else knows that. And you know what? That just might be a story for another time. But for now, guys, that's very true fact there. And yeah, it was bad. It was terrible. And leading into junior high, my anxiety got worse because I was growing up and I dealt with all these bullies and stuff like that, and I had so much trouble talking to people because I was afraid they weren't gonna like me. And the anxiety was just like eating away at me, and, you know, overthinking situations and stuff like that. And yeah, you know, and unfortunately there was a few times in junior high as well where I was targeted for bullying. There was actually this one time we were in gym and I was just standing around minding my own business. I was talking to somebody, and this guy who was like, you know how you have like the one guy in like grade 7, like in your grade at the time, who seems like he has aged a lot more than everyone else. It's almost like his hormones have gone through him and he's already looking like he's a 16-year-old when you're all like 11 or 12. Well, this dude had literally rammed into me, like from my back. Like he ran right into my back, and all I remember was 1 minute I was talking, or 1 second I was talking to my friend. The next I was on the ground, just totally dazed. And I just got up, and he was just like, "Whoops, ha 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 ha." And I didn't do anything. And that's how bad it was. I just took it. Nowadays, Ooh, that wouldn't be happening. But the thing was, though, back then, you really just don't understand the place you're in, you know, the mentality, the anxiety. You don't have the right support. You're always questioning yourself, and you don't know if you have the courage or the will to, you know, stand up for yourself. And it's the unfortunate reality that millions of people are bullied, millions of kids are bullied every day. And again, it needs to be looked at, and it needs to be handled and fixed, because it's a huge problem. And there's a lot. And the worst part too is the bullies are usually also damaged kids from, you know, their household and them being bullied. So it's just this vicious cycle. It's terrible. But, you know, with that being said, life went on. Admittingly, throughout my school years, anxiety really crippled me, and I missed out on a lot of opportunities. I did. And it sucks, but you know what? I'm grown up now. I feel a lot better. I don't let that stuff control me anymore. And if it's bothering you, and if you're in the same situation, I can promise you, you'll get out of it. You'll find a way. You'll build up that courage, and one day somebody will say something to you they wish they never said. Trust me, it'll come. It takes time, it takes support, but know that you're not alone, and that one day when the time is right, you'll stand up for yourself, and you'll never be bullied again. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this serious little story of my childhood, and I hope I had some encouraging words for you all. But if I left a sour taste in your mouth, be sure to check out some other videos, animations on my channel, you know, lots of fun stuff here, lots of funny stuff, just to, you know, keep your spirits high. But anyways, guys, hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, guys, take care.